Yeah, what's going on, everybody? I just wanted to make a quick video explaining the new computer that I made. This is it. This is computer V3 1.4. I did a lot of changes. I changed the entire humidifier circuit. I changed the voltage upper or voltage stepper upper or whatever from 3 to 5 volts, that whole circuit. And then I changed the entire wireless charging circuit as well as the Wi-Fi circuit. The only thing that I kept the same was the power into the STM32. So if we start here, power goes in. This is the STM32. And then in the past, I had the voltage stepper uppers, or I forget what you call them, but the voltage 3 to 5 volt things. I had two of them right up here, and all the pins were still down here. So I had a bunch of wires going underneath everything to get the pins. So this time I changed where they came out, and instead I found a block that had 8 pins, and rather than using two separate things, and then I put them on these bottom pins so that they just went directly. It was the shortest route to the pin headers. That way they didn't need to go under anything, and it wasn't like a mess of wires everywhere. The next thing I did was I changed the humidifier. This time I just copied a design from the Groove Water Atomizer, I think is what it's called. I found the schematic. I have the board here. I found the schematic online. I just literally copied it and then found a bunch of pieces and place them in here. Yeah, I really hope it works. It works well. It's a good water atomizer. The next thing is the wireless charger. I spent the most time learning how to do this. I started with a receiver chip from Texas Instruments. I just went off their data sheet, read the whole thing like multiple days, just kept rereading it, and then designed a circuit based off of it. And let's see, here it is. This is the circuit I designed based off of that sheet. This has the biggest chance of failing out of everything, in my opinion, because there were a few capacitors that I should have done math for, but I used the default ones on the sheet, and I'm not sure that I should have, but I have a good idea, and I think it might work. At least might work a little bit. And I think the reason my last wireless charger wasn't working was because it wasn't QI. I think it's called, that's what it's called. It wasn't QI compliant, and the transmitter was looking for a signal of a compliant one to work. And if it doesn't see that, then it won't function properly. I put some solder jumpers everywhere to kind of give me the ability to use the USB driver or not. So how this how this receiver works is if it detects a USB in, it will shut down the wireless charging. And if there's no USB power going in, it will charge wirelessly. So I tried to make that all work. And as a caution, I put a bunch of solder jumpers in at various places that will allow me to connect and disconnect portions of the circuit to test what does and doesn't work. And then the ESP32, what I did with this is when I first tried to wire this, I was going off some forum online that was using an ESP32 board, not the chip. So I was kind of basing it off. I was trying to mix and match the pinouts of that board example that I was using with these pinouts of the chip. And then instead of doing that, I just went on to the files for the chip and then directly built a circuit off the recommendations for the chip. And honestly, I'd be surprised if it didn't work because it's pretty straightforward. It's basically just powering up the chip and then connecting the transmitter and receiver to the STM board. One thing I changed on the STM board is I was using UART2 protocol to talk to the ESP32, and I just changed it to UART1 simply because there's a video tutorial that uses UART1, and I would like to follow that tutorial as closely as possible to heighten my chances of succeeding with this. Please subscribe and comment if you have any questions, and like the video. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Peace. See you guys on the next video.